Insta360 just replaced its best-selling 360 camera, and the upgrade sheet is longer than anyone expected. Bigger sensors, a completely new chip system, Dolby Vision, double the battery life claims. On paper, this looks like a generational leap, not a yearly refresh. But the X5 is still sitting there at a much lower price, still shooting genuinely great 8K footage, and still winning best value from Insta360 itself. So is the X6 actually worth the jump, or are you paying $150 more for numbers that don't change your footage? Let's go through exactly what's different. The X6 is actually lighter than the X5, 196 grams versus 200 grams, despite packing a bigger battery and sensors, which is a genuinely impressive engineering feat. The screen gets a real upgrade too, a 2.32-inch OLED display with 1200 nits of peak brightness and an always-on mode, compared to the X5's 2.5-inch LCD. That OLED panel will be dramatically easier to see in direct sunlight. Waterproofing improves from 49 feet on the X5 to 65 feet on the X6, both without a case. And the X6 adds 64 gigabytes of built-in storage with 47 gigabytes usable, so if you forget your microSD card, you're not dead in the water. The X5 has no built-in storage at all. Lens durability gets an upgrade too, with Insta360 claiming replaceable lenses 2.0 on the X6 are 5 times more scratch resistant than the original replaceable lenses on the X5. Edge X6 across nearly every physical spec, though the X5's slightly larger screen might still appeal to some. This is where the X6 earns its flagship label. Both cameras use dual custom Sony sensors, but the X6 jumps from a 1 by 1.28-inch sensor to a 1 by 1.1-inch sensor. That's 33% more sensor area, which Insta360 is marketing as full 1-inch equivalent 360 imaging. In real terms, that means significantly more light hitting each pixel, roughly triple the light intake per pixel compared to the X5. The dynamic range numbers back it up too. 14.5 stops on the X6 versus 13.5 on the X5. That's not a massive gap, but combined with the larger sensor, low light and high contrast scenes should hold detail noticeably better on the X6. If you shoot indoors, at dusk, or anywhere with mixed lighting, this is the spec that actually matters day to day. Edge X6, and it's not close. This is the single biggest reason to upgrade if image quality is your priority. Under the hood, the X5 runs a 5nm AI chip paired with 2 imaging chips. The X6 moves to a completely new system, an 8-core 3.3 GHz 4nm chip plus 2 dedicated imaging chips, and Insta360 claims that's 500% more computing power than the X5, with a 106% faster clock speed while somehow using 35% less power at the same time. That processing bump isn't just a spec sheet flex, it's what enables features the X5 simply can't do. Dolby Vision, 10-bit color, and the smarter AI editing tools we'll get to shortly. It's also almost certainly why the X6 can push 8K at 50 FPS, while the X5 caps out at 8K 30. Edge X6. This is the single biggest reason to upgrade if image quality is your priority. Here's the headline number. The X6 shoots native 8K at 50 FPS in 360 mode. The X5 tops out at 8K 30 FPS. That's a real difference if you like slowing footage down in post, or if you just want smoother looking 8K without the slight judder 30 FPS can have in fast motion shots. Flat video sees a jump too. The X6 can do 5K at 60 FPS and 4K at 120 FPS at up to 170 degrees field of view, while the X5's single lens mode maxes out at 4K at 60 FPS. If you use your camera as an ultra-wide action cam as much as a 360 device, that gap will show up constantly. Photos scale up as well. 120 megapixel 360 photos on the X6 compared to 72 megapixels on the X5. That's a big jump if you ever crop in tight or print stills. Edge X6 for anyone shooting fast motion, slow-mo, or wanting max photo detail. This is a quieter upgrade, but it matters if you edit seriously. The X6 supports 10-bit color with over a billion colors, plus iLog, and for the first time on any Insta360 360 camera, native in-camera Dolby Vision. The X5 is stuck at 8-bit color, and while it does have iLog, it has no Dolby Vision option at all. There's also Adaptive Tone 2.0 on the X6, which meters each lens independently and captures 2 exposures for each frame for better highlight and shadow recovery. The X5 has Adaptive Tone, but not this dual exposure version. If you're a casual shooter who exports straight from the app, this upgrade won't mean much to you. If you're grading footage in DaVinci Resolve or Premiere, it's a genuinely meaningful jump in how much information you have to work with. Edge X6 for editors and colorists specifically. This is where the X6 tries to differentiate itself beyond raw specs. It introduces PanoMind, Insta360's in-house AI model trained specifically on 360 footage across travel, winter sports, and motorcycling scenarios. That powers AI Director, a new feature that automatically analyzes your footage and delivers an edited clip to your phone while the camera's charging. Genuinely shoot now, edit never territory. InstaFrame also jumps to version 2.0 with proper smart tracking, letting you lock onto a person, pet, or object with one tap. The X5 has InstaFrame, but without this rebuilt tracking system. The X6 also adds a hidden engine mic specifically for motorcyclists on top of upgraded 360 windproof microphones. Edge X6, particularly if you're someone who films a lot and edits very little. Insta360 says the X6's new 2600 mAh Extreme battery delivers 140 minutes of continuous 8K 30 FPS recording, a 51% increase over the X5's 93 minutes at the same setting. The X6 also charges faster, 0 to 80% in 24 minutes versus the X5's 20 minutes to 80%, which is actually slightly quicker on the X5 side, interestingly, even though the X6 has more capacity to fill. Worth noting, if you compare the X5 in its lower resolution endurance mode, it actually claims 208 minutes at 5.7K at 24 FPS, which beats the X6's headline number. So the double the battery life framing you'll see in some coverage only really holds true if you're comparing max resolution 8K 30 recording specifically. Edge X6 for anyone shooting at the highest resolution for extended periods. X5 still holds its own if you're willing to drop resolution for longer sessions. The X5 launched at a lower price point and can now be found for less, generally hovering in the $500 to $550 range depending on bundle and region. The X6 starts at $699.99 for the standard bundle, roughly $150 more than X5 pricing. That's a meaningful gap. For $150 less, the X5 still shoots proper 8K 360 video, still has replaceable lenses, still has flow state stabilization and the invisible selfie stick effect, and still runs the same Insta360 app and editing ecosystem. Edge X5 if budget is the deciding factor. If you're upgrading from an older Insta360 camera, want the best possible image quality, shoot a lot of low light or fast motion footage, or plan to color grade seriously, the X6 is worth the extra $150. The sensor jump alone changes what's possible in tricky lighting, and Dolby Vision plus 10-bit color are real creative tools, not just marketing lines. But if you're buying your first 360 camera, mostly shares straight from your phone, and don't need max battery life at max resolution, the X5 is still an excellent camera and the smarter financial choice. Insta360 didn't kill the X5 with this launch, it just gave people a reason to spend more if image quality is genuinely the priority.